Beds are set up. Kitchen prep is underway as Restoring Hope sets up their youth drop-in and emergency shelter for the night. Located in downtown Ottawa, in the basement of First Baptist Church, Restoring Hope is a refuge for at-risk youth.
Every time we open our doors, we just welcome these kids in with open arms. We have a policy of not turning anybody away. So anybody can come in as long as they're within our age range of 16 to 24. And it doesn't matter if you're intoxicated. It doesn't matter if you've been sleeping outside for many nights, or maybe this is your first night being homeless.
That's why I was playing for 5 years prior.
We really put a lot of effort into connecting with them. We don't want them to come in and just sit down and hand them a plate of food and that's it. We really want to sit down and talk to everybody that wants to talk with us and build relationships with them and get to know them. And we want them to feel like this is a bit of a home for them as much as possible.
The staff is really kind. The food is really good. The volunteers are really helpful.
Derek found Restoring Hope after years of sleeping on the street.
So I became homeless in 2020. I came off an abusive family relationship, and ever since I've become homeless, I've been sleeping in the banks over in the East End before I came here.
These kids have been through a lot, and it has shaped those difficult things that they've been through have shaped their view of the world, or have shaped some of their behaviors. And the best thing that they need is to be reminded that they are loved and that they are cared for. You have a good week? Yeah?
Filling up, I was very, very thankful to be able to stay here, be able to connect with people, connect with the staff.
Scott first heard about Restoring Hope 6 years ago. He says the conversations with staff and his peers have made his experience in this space life-changing.
Be able to talk about what's happening, be able to seek advice, support, and just gain sort of hope throughout an otherwise hopeless time.
Scott recently found permanent housing after years of experiencing homelessness.
I have found housing. It was quite a while. I was sort of staying outside and receiving services, just hoping to be able to just sort of pick up the pieces from where I've left off.
Sometimes I have youth come to me after they've moved into housing and they're like, I'm just struggling for food this week. Can I get a little bit of extra help? And we maintain that relationship. And I'm glad that they feel like they can still reach out to us, so that they understand that the relationship doesn't end just because you found a different service, or that you found housing and you don't need the emergency shelter anymore. God wants us to love people, but in order to do that, sometimes we have to intentionally put ourselves in the paths of the people that we're trying to love, right? So I could say that I care about the poor, or I care about homeless youth, but there was only so much that I could do until we created a space where they could come and where we could interact with them, right? So whenever it's time to open our doors and I see a group of youth outside waiting to get in, I feel like I'm in the middle of God's will for my life. It's taught me a lot about patience. It's taught me a lot about forgiveness and just loving people for who they are and meeting them where they're at.